My husband's love letters to his mistress were in our shared Google Doc. 10 years into my marriage with Marcus, I received a notification from an old shared document. It was filled with his love letters to Helena, thousands of cells transformed into heart emojis, declarations of passion sprawling across the screen. The ironic part? The document was public. Everyone could witness their affair except me, the fool who'd been kept in the dark. What he didn't know was that I'd created this document 10 years ago. For every time he went to see Helena, I deleted one of the 100 love notes I'd written him back then. When they're all gone, so are we. Chapter 1. I was deleting the 99th love note when Marcus came home from his business trip. The living room was dim, lit only by a small table lamp. Claire. His voice was tentative. I closed my laptop and hummed in acknowledgement. Click. He flipped on the lights, holding a star-shaped pendant, smiling like he'd won the lottery. I brought you something. Do you like it? Before I could answer, he moved to clasp it around my neck. I turned away. His smile froze. You don't like it? I took the necklace, mumbling, it's fine. Then tossed it carelessly on the coffee table. His eyes followed the pendant, then caught my phone screen still displaying Helena's latest Instagram post. His face darkened. You are the sun, I am the moon. Though you shine in daylight and I glow at night, our love transcends time. The photo showed a woman's delicate collarbone adorned with a moon pendant, while a man in a crisp suit face carefully cropped out wore a sun-shaped pin. After 10 years of marriage, I knew my husband's silhouette. Especially when he wore the custom Armani suit I'd commissioned for my designer friend in Milan. So the star pendant was supposed to represent what, exactly? That in this three-person show, they were the celestial bodies while I was just a distant, dimming star. I calmly pocketed my phone. Marcus's voice carried an edge of anger. I've been gone 2 months on business, remembered to bring you a gift, and this is what I come home to? Your paranoia? I tilted my head, genuinely confused. When something's already proven, there's no need for suspicion or investigation. I'd opened Helena's Instagram because she'd messaged me right before Marcus walked in. Sleep well tonight, dream of me. Quickly recalled, followed by, OMG Claire. So sorry, meant to send that to my boyfriend. You didn't see it, right? My hands had trembled, even though I discovered their shared document a month ago and had already broken down countless times. This past month, I'd become obsessed, stalking Helena's social media like a madwoman. That familiar, crushing pain hit me again. I wasn't paranoid. I was devastated. I stared at Marcus, eyes glistening. He pressed his lips together. I've explained this 1,000 times. Helena is my assistant. When we're together, it's strictly business. He thrust his phone at me. Fine. Check it yourself if you don't believe me. Then dragged his suitcase to the bedroom, slamming the door. I smiled bitterly. He'd always been quick to hand over his phone, letting me search freely. I knew all his passwords. His phone was spotless. Besides, in 10 years, I'd never doubted him. Even when a young, beautiful assistant suddenly appeared at his side. Even when jealousy flared, I never truly suspected him. How could I doubt him? He was the man who'd promised to love and protect me forever when we were barely out of college. The man who'd fought his family to marry me. To win their approval, he'd written himself 100 marriage rules, each one about loving me. I'd responded with 100 love notes in a shared document, wanting the whole world to witness our love. I'd programmed it to resurface on our 10th anniversary, imagining his face when he saw my decade-old declarations of young love. Time passed. I'd almost forgotten the document was shared that anyone could edit it. Including Marcus and Helena. His phone might be clean, but the messages he left Helena in that document were intimate, raw, passionate. At 35, he wrote like a teenager discovering love for the first time, pouring out feelings with an intensity one hadn't seen in years. Those thousands of cells, transformed into heart emojis, nearly covered the entire spreadsheet. So on our 10th anniversary, that document containing my 100 love notes became a boomerang that shattered my marriage. I discovered my husband's affair. When Marcus emerged from his shower, I was still curled on the couch. He walked to the dining table, voice hoarse. You didn't save me dinner. I blinked. Forgot. Are you sick? He approached, gently pressing his palm to my forehead with practiced tenderness. I shook my head. I'm fine. He scooped me up, grinning. Then let's go out. Consider it making up for missing our anniversary. On our anniversary, I'd spent all day cooking his favorite dishes because he'd casually mentioned wanting a quiet celebration at home. But when dinner was ready, he called to say he had an urgent business trip. After he hung up, the shared document notification arrived. In those silent minutes that followed, I completely broke down. Dozens of calls went straight to voicemail. When he finally landed, his text was ice cold, in meetings. Stop calling. We'll respond later. Like a frozen fist crushing the rage building inside me, then setting it aflame. The next moment, Helena updated both Instagram and the document was teaching her to ski. For an entire month, he toured with Helena from resort to resort. As a couple, checking into boutique hotels meant for lovers. They updated the document like a diary. And I, the abandoned wife, obsessed over every post, every update. Reading the same content thousands of times. Watching, waiting for each new entry like an addict. In a month, he'd sent me fewer than 10 messages. Seeing my silence, Marcus kissed my temple. Claire. My mind flashed to that 99th love note. Only one left. Let this be our last goodbye. I sniffled and hummed agreement. His car now smelled of jasmine. For 10 years, I'd chosen his car freshener. He'd never changed it. I turned to the window, tears streaming silently. Marcus slammed the brakes, pulling over. Helena's not answering her phone. I'm worried. Get out here, I need to check on her. Before I could protest, he'd pulled me from the car. My coat still inside. Snow fell steadily. By the 10th call, he finally answered, voice dripping irritation. I'm at the office with Helena handling an emergency. Stop being paranoid. He hung up and sent his location. The office, indeed. But Helena's luxury condo was right next door, prime real estate he'd purchased. Every indiscretion, justified as overtime. Secrets dressed up as dedication. The snow intensified. I stumbled, nearly falling, when a strong hand steadied me. After saying goodbye to Connor, I was leaving the pharmacy when I ran straight into Marcus carrying Helena bridal style into the ER. Our eyes met. No words needed. His face darkened. What are you doing here? Helena laughed lightly. Mr. Harrison, please put me down. She smiled at me, all innocence. Sorry, Claire. Just a little flu making me dizzy. Marcus insisted on bringing me himself. Nothing happened, I didn't misunderstand. Marcus set her down but positioned himself protectively between us. I had no energy for confrontation. As I turned to leave, Helena suddenly clutched her head, collapsing into Marcus's arms. He swept her up, rushing to emergency without a backward glance. My phone buzzed, remember his stomach medication. I touched the pill case I always carried in my pocket. Staring at it for a long moment, I turned back. Marcus, you're... He shoved me aside impatiently. Can you not make a scene? I'm just helping a colleague. This isn't an affair. You don't need to spy on me. I looked down, pressing the pills into his hand. Your medication. Marcus froze, lips pressed tight, saying nothing. I smiled faintly. Are we still having dinner? Guilt flickered across his face. I'm sorry. Another time. Helena needs. I cut him off with a smile. Okay. I'll head home. The tears had already drowned my heart. We have no future, Marcus. Back home, Marcus texted asking me to bring the homemade chicken soup to our dinner reservation. Seeing our matching profile pictures, something stirred. I decided to go. I hadn't expected Helena to be there. Marcus took the thermos directly from my hands. What took so long? It's probably cold. The doctor says Helena needs hot soup for her immune system. He fussed, handing it to a server to reheat, then returned to Helena's side, serving her food. They chatted like I wasn't there. He didn't notice the snow still melting in my hair. Didn't know my car had broken down, that I'd run through the snow to reach him. I'd tried to fool myself if he chose me this time, I'd forgive everything. After my long silence, Marcus finally noticed me, placing a shrimp on my plate. I can't eat shellfish. How could the man who'd once sobbed at my hospital bed after an allergic reaction now serve me shrimp? Marcus paused, embarrassed. Sorry, I forgot. As he reached to remove it, Helena interjected, Claire, I used to be allergic too. But I kept trying, and now shrimp is my favorite. She popped one in her mouth. Our bodies can adapt. No need to be so sensitive. Marcus nodded, pushing the shrimp into my mouth. Helena's right. You're too picky. That's why you're allergic to everything. One piece won't hurt. I spat it out and stood to leave, but collapsed. I woke in the hospital with Marcus beside my bed, guilt written across his face. I'm sorry. I forgot you're also allergic to mango. The drink, of course. So dinner was never meant for me. I was just the fool who showed up. What a perfect joke. I laughed, tears filling my eyes. Looking at Marcus, I said quietly, let's get divorced. Chapter 2. Marcus's hand trembled, spilling water. Claire, it was one mistake. I've apologized. No need to threaten divorce. Here, drink some water. I'll stay with you today. His phone chimed with that familiar notification. Marcus's expression soured. He slammed the cup down. Emergency. I'll be right back. The cup shattered on the floor. I wiped water from my face and called my lawyer. After the last 4 bag, night had fallen again. I walked out without looking back. Because I knew he wouldn't return. Next morning, Marcus came home to find me making breakfast. He hugged me from behind, whispering apologies. Claire, I'm sorry about yesterday. I stuffed scrambled eggs in his mouth. It's fine. Work comes first. Then handed him a stack of documents. Insurance renewals. Drowning in guilt, he signed without reading. When he reached the divorce papers tucked between policies, I asked softly, aren't you going to read them? Marcus smiled. I'm not paranoid like someone I know. He handed them back, studying my face. You're really not mad? I shrugged. What's there to be mad about? Seeing me heading to work, surprise flashed across his face before he suppressed it. I'll drive you. I didn't refuse. Outside, Helena sat in the car. She smiled sweetly. Hitching a ride today. I get carsick in the back, so I hope. You don't mind, Claire. Not at all. I slid into the back seat. Marcus kept checking the rearview mirror. Helena coughed. He finally looked away. Still feeling sick. They flirted openly, as if I weren't there. My fingers traced the divorce papers in my bag, lips curving slightly. At the office, I walked straight to my executive suite. My assistant beamed. Ms. Chen. Your sabbatical's over? A year ago, I'd miscarried and took extended leave. Now, returning after so long, everything felt foreign. I opened the shared document and deleted the last love note. I want to be with Marcus. Harrison forever and always. That's when Helena burst in, phone displaying explicit photos, tears streaming. Why did you leak these? Calling me a homewrecker? Marcus charged in and slapped me without hesitation. Claire, Helena, and I are innocent. How could you be so vicious? Kneel and apologize to her right now. Then post a public retraction, or I'll never forgive you. I looked at them calmly, even laughing. Helena sobbed dramatically. Fine, if you want me dead, I'll give you what you want. She rushed toward the wall. But passing me, she deliberately elbowed my stomach. I lost balance and fell. Helena. No. Marcus ran to her, literally stepping on my ankle in his rush. I heard it crack. Helena was unharmed. I nearly passed out from pain. Then the lights went out. Alarms blared. Fire in the electrical room. Evacuate. Helena smirked at me from Marcus's arms, mouthing, I win. I struggled up on one foot, limping to the corridor before being knocked down by panicking evacuees. Marcus looked back, our eyes meeting in the darkness. After 10 years, I could always find him, see his face clearly. Every memory we'd shared played like a movie reel. Against all logic, I felt that old, desperate hope. I mouthed silently, save me. Then screamed, Marcus. Save me. He heard. But in the next second, he turned away, carrying Helena toward the bright exit. The tear I'd been holding finally fell, mixing with sprinkler water, turning the blood beneath me into blooming roses. Time blurred until someone shouted, call an ambulance. When I woke, Connor sat beside me peeling an apple. I turned to look. He didn't glance up, just continued peeling. Awake. He placed the perfectly peeled apple on the bedside table and stood, his tall frame blocking the light. I'll get the doctor. 2 steps out, commotion erupted in the hallway. Connor looked back. Your soon-to-be ex is outside. Want to see him? I stared. How did you know? I drafted your divorce papers. Only then did I remember wasn't the quiet boy in faded clothes from high school anymore. He owned the city's most prestigious law firm. My lawyer worked for him. Faced with Kenormie high school desk mate I'd never spoken a word toy felt oddly vulnerable. I turned away. I don't want to see him. Send him away. Connor disagreed. You'll need to see him to finalize the divorce. Might as well discuss when to file. Besides, you lost the baby. No complications now. I frowned. I was pregnant. Connor's cold face finally showed exasperation. Is this your 3rd miscarriage? Or 4th? Strange. How did he know such details? Seeing my expression, his tone turned mocking. Still want to have a child with a man who betrays your marriage, cheats constantly, and literally steps on you? I felt defensive. This man barely spoke, but when he did, his words cut deep. His interruption dissolved my lingering grief over another lost pregnancy. He was right. I did need to see Marcus. Connor opened the door. Marcus rushed in. Red-eyed, frantic. Claire, are you okay? I'm sorry. I was going to get Helena out first then come back. When I returned, you were already. It's all my fault. Hit me, scream at me, whatever helps. The baby, we're young. We'll have others. I watched his performance silently, then handed him the divorce papers. Let's pick a date for the courthouse. Marcus was about to protest when he saw his signature. His eyes widened. When did I sign this? Then it hit him. The insurance forms? I said flatly, I told you to read them. Still playing the victim, I'd given him another chance. Marcus's face flushed. With anger. He tore up the papers. I don't agree. His voice softened. Claire, I know you're angry. But threatening divorce over this? We've been together so long. Can you really let go? Do you want to betray our wedding vows? I stared at this man I'd loved for so many years, wanting to laugh. How long did he plan to keep pretending? Marcus, I saw everything in that shared document. Your messages to Helena. His face went white. I continued calmly. So the only one betraying vows here isn't me, is it? I watched him scramble for excuses. Finally, just. A guilty, I'm sorry. I laughed. It's fine. We're divorcing anyway. Next Friday. I'll be discharged, then we'll file. Marcus panicked, grabbing my hand. Claire, just once forgive me this once. It was temporary insanity. Divorce is too extreme. Give me one chance. I'll prove myself. I'll fire Helena immediately. She'll never appear before you again. I shook my head with a faint smile. Impossible. During my hospital stay, I thought I'd finally have peace to heal. But Marcus suddenly didn't need to work overtime anymore. He appeared daily, staying until midnight unless I insisted he leave. If I hadn't been firm, he'd have moved a cot into my room. Fresh flowers arrived constantly, but his lingering jasmine scent made me nauseous every time. He played the devoted husband. Other patients envied me. Dear, your husband's so attentive. How did you miscarry? I answered flatly, soon-to-be ex-husband. Miscarriage? Someone pushed me. When I said this, Marcus hung his head in shame. The women's attitudes shifted. One blunt lady said, affair, right? Now he's sorry. Marcus nodded frantically. All my fault. Never again. A softer soul advised, he seems genuinely remorseful. Marriage is about forgiveness. Maybe reconsider. Right then, Helena walked in with soup, tears ready. Claire, I'm sorry, I'm only visiting now. I smiled coldly. Yeah, pretty late. I'm almost discharged. Marcus tried pulling her out. Why are you here? I told you to stay away. Helena dropped to her knees before me, sobbing beautifully. Claire, even though you posted those photos to ruin my reputation, I need to explain Marcus and I were just drunk mistakes. I won't hold the rumors against you. Please don't blame Marcus for not saving you, okay? You don't know how he's neglected the company for you. He hasn't been to work in days. Everyone's worried. Claire, there should be limits to tantrums, shouldn't there? I never gave Marcus this much trouble as his assistant. If you still hate me, I'll leave. I just feel bad for Marcus, exhausting himself over your mood swings. Marcus's face darkened. Enough. Stop talking. This isn't your business. I looked between them and laughed. Still playing both sides? Guilt flashed across Marcus's face as he rushed to explain. I slapped him hard. That's for slapping me. Another slap. For the allergic reaction. A third. For our baby. I wiped my hand, smiling at Helena. You've had so much work done to look like me, all to seduce Marcus. Why play innocent? Remembering her accidental messages claiming to have a boyfriend, I laughed harder. Boyfriend? You're proud of stealing someone's husband? I turned to see Marcus instinctively helping Helena up. Feeling sorry for her? Marcus snapped back to reality. Claire, just vent however you need. She's just an assistant. I'll replace her if you want. Deflecting again. I smiled. She seems pregnant. Shouldn't you take her for a checkup? All these years, trying to have Marcus's child, I'd taken so many medications. That smell, I never wanted to encounter it again. Yet Helena reeked of those same fertility drugs. A constant reminder of all I'd suffered for an unworthy man. Marcus's face changed. He scooped up Helena. Claire, I'll take her to see a doctor. Be right back. Again, leaving without looking back. But this time, I felt nothing for the man who never turned around. I called Connor. Discharge papers ready? Today was discharge day. Marcus visited daily but remained distracted. So he'd forgotten. Men who wanted everything were truly pathetic. Watching him play the devoted husband seeking forgiveness while pining for his exciting mistress. His daily juggling act, desperate to hide everything while failing spectacularly. Quite entertaining, really. Chapter 3. While waiting at the courthouse, Connor sat beside me, working on other cases. After catching me looking for the third time, he said, ask. Why are you helping me? Connor closed his laptop, studying me intently. An eraser. I blinked. What? A rare smile melted his ice-cold demeanor. Senior year. Before finals. You lent me an eraser. I frowned, then remembered. He'd forgotten his eraser before the SATs. Teachers panicked was our small town's only shot at the Ivy League. The whole school treated Connor like royalty. I'd brought 2 erasers. And gave him 1. I studied the man beside me. 1 eraser, and he remembered for over a decade? Connor checked his watch, frowning. He's late. Marcus still hadn't shown. I wasn't worried. Soon enough, his unhappy face appeared. Behind him, his mother Patricia, and a smug Helena. Patricia spoke first. Should have divorced years ago. I never approved of you. Married 10 years without a single child, what use are you? Marcus's face darkened. Mom, stop. Patricia wouldn't. What? Did I lie? You should have listened to me. You'd have kids running around by now. You're an only child. Without grandchildren, who inherits our fortune? She gave me a meaningful look. I stayed calm, uninterested in engaging. I'd never gotten along with this mother-in-law, rarely seeing her even once a year. After divorcing Marcus, we'd have even less connection. Marcus glared at Connor. Why are you here? Connor raised an eyebrow. Accompanying my benefactor through her divorce. Problem? Marcus turned to me. You're divorcing me for him? Claire, don't be fooled. No one will ever love you like I do. Connor responded coldly, love her enough to save the mistress during emergencies instead of your wife? All 3 faces changed. Helena, supporting Patricia, whined, Aunt Patricia, I don't feel well. Patricia immediately fussed. Quick, let's get this over with. Don't disturb my grandchild. Marcus exploded. Mom, I've told you I'm not divorcing. Patricia wailed dramatically. You just promised at your father's hospital bed. He might not survive this, and you're already breaking your word? Marcus fell silent. The clerk called our number, and we quickly received our divorce certificates. Outside the courthouse, Marcus confronted me. You sent Helena to my parents? I nodded. No point denying it. Yes. Marcus looked pained. Just this once, why couldn't you forgive me? You know what I sacrificed to be with you. I handed him a bouquet of irises. I'd bought from a little girl on the way. I know. That's exactly why I'm certain the old you who loved me is gone. Staying would betray him. After the divorce, I resigned from Marcus's company. I flew south for a 2-month vacation. All these years, I'd created enough value to live comfortably. Connor had drafted the divorce agreement, though I'd modified it. I only took what was rightfully mine, though I could have gotten more. Still, someone remained unhappy. With Patricia's blessing, Helena quickly became the new Mrs. Harrison. Her social media PDA went from subtle to shameless. If she hadn't constantly thrown shade at me, I might have ignored it entirely. I was lounging on a beach chair, plotting revenge, when someone lay down beside me. I turned. Our eyes met. What are you doing here? Connor, in sunglasses, sipped his juice. Client hasn't paid. I pointed at myself. Your client, me? He raised an eyebrow. Yes. This reminded me why he annoyed me. The man was impossible and greedy. Without my consent, he'd replaced my lawyer with himself, then demanded $1 million. He claimed he was worth it. My original lawyer, a junior associate, only wanted $100,000. Are you robbing me? I never agreed to switch lawyers. He stared at me intently. Even through sunglasses, I felt his burning gaze. His stare made me nervous. I mumbled, I already paid your firm. Connor suddenly smiled. You'll understand eventually. Not until Marcus orchestrated an elaborate public proposal did I learn he'd divorced Helena. So that's what Connor meant. He'd helped my ex divorce his mistress and charged me for it. I surveyed the restaurant filled with red roses and balloons, Marcus holding flowers and gazing at me with devotion. I shot Connor a look. You're doing. Connor explained seriously, Helena got nothing and is twice divorced now. She experienced everything you did. My heart unexpectedly warmed. His way of caring was certainly unique. Must be a genius thing, different wavelength from normal people. But wasn't Helena pregnant? Connor smiled mysteriously. Not Marcus's. I stared. So that was it. While we talked, Marcus approached. He knelt with a ring. Claire, Helena and I are divorced. After you left, I realized no one deserves my love more than you. Claire, we were together over 10 years. Despite one mistake, I believe we can find our way back to happiness. If you're willing, let me put this ring on your finger. I'll give you the wedding you always dreamed of. I shook my head with a smile. I'm not willing. Marcus, lost in his romantic gesture, choked. Why? You always wanted a proper wedding ceremony. True. When we married, Marcus had cut ties with his family for me. Starting his business, he couldn't afford a wedding. After getting our certificate, he'd cried and promised, Claire, when I make money, I'll give you the wedding of your dreams. Everyone will witness our happiness. I'd cried too, answering, I believe you. 10 years passed. His promise scattered like dust. He never mentioned it again. I'd wanted it but never asked. Turns out he hadn't forgotten. He knew my wishes. He just didn't want to fulfill them. I laughed. Marcus, we're divorced. He insisted, we can remarry. I glanced at him and turned to leave. Helena's better suited for remarrying you. Then I noticed my former assistant, Lisa, hovering nervously near Marcus. I thought you wanted to catch up. Lisa hung her head silently. I left the restaurant. Marcus called after me, Claire, are we really over? I paused but didn't answer such a pointless question. I turned to Connor. I wanted to recommend this restaurant's menu, but today's not good. Rain check. After I left, Marcus apparently got blind drunk, went to our old bridge, discovered our love lock gone, and broke down completely. After that, Marcus Harrison rarely appeared in my life. Instead, Connor the silent type showed up daily like an NPC. This man was oddly entertaining. Sharing elevators, he'd ignore me completely, then suddenly speak, making me jump. Did you know there's a person called Mike? Me, huh? Connor, deadpan, Mike couldn't hear you. Me. By our 10th elevator encounter, as he persisted with terrible jokes, I finally caught on. You live here? Connor coughed twice. Always have. I frowned. What were the odds we'd buy condos in the same building? A cleaning lady entered, spotting Connor. Oh. The gentleman who just moved in. Thanks again for helping with the trash. Connor's face visibly reddened. I couldn't help laughing. If I still didn't understand his intentions after 10 years of marriage, I'd be hopeless. You're pursuing me? Connor looked stunned. How did you know? I burst out laughing. Who knew an ice-cold lawyer could turn puppy dog adorable? Your coincidences are too obvious. Connor pulled out a list, crossing off, create chance encounters, right in front of me. The title read, 100 Ways to Win a Girl's Heart. I snatched the list, scanning the items with growing amusement. What is this nonsense? Where did you find this? Connor looked sheepish. From a colleague who's dated 18 times. I sighed. I know you're studious, but not everything needs consulting. Then paused, staring at him. You've never dated? Connor nodded. Problem? If memory served, we were the same age. How is anyone 34 and never dated? Connor's sharp tongue returned. You dated and still got divorced. I glared. Shut up. You haven't answered. I tilted my head. What? How to pursue you. You said to ask directly. Lord help me, why was his directness so endearing? I pretended to think deeply. Just be genuine. Connor wasn't satisfied. Specifics. Like, genuinely taking me to dinner. That simple? I nodded, secretly thrilled. Getting my genius classmate to buy dinner would give me major bragging rights in our alumni group. Leaving with Connor, we found Marcus waiting outside with a small white dog. 6 months had passed. Seeing him felt surreal. Claire. I found this stray. Knowing you love dogs, I thought. He glanced between Connor and me. Going out? But I hadn't heard him, already pressed against Connor. Keep it away. The dog barked. I trembled with fear. I didn't even notice when Connor gripped my hand tightly. I backed several steps before addressing Marcus. Don't come closer. Marcus looked crushed. You don't like dogs anymore? I used to love them, but Marcus thought they were dirty and wouldn't let me have one. Then once, a large dog knocked me down. I called Marcus, away on business. He accused me of being dramatic, bothering him over nothing. I got rabies shots alone, treated my wounds alone. I'd been terrified of dogs ever since. Feeling Connor squeeze tighter, I steadied my voice. I don't like them. Take it away. Then added, don't come here anymore. Marcus froze, then smiled bitterly and left. I understand. My palm was sweating before I whispered, the dog's gone. Connor held tighter, saying cryptically, we were so close. Later I learned that besides the eraser, I'd given him cake during freshman orientation. His first cream cake ever. Mine too, bought with money from collecting bottles. Artificial sweeteners made it cloyingly sweet, but for us then, one bite was heaven. His so close meant he'd planned to confess after finals. But I'd taken a summer job and met Marcus. He saw how happy I was and disappeared from my life, never revealing his feelings. Until his firm received my divorce case. At Connor's and my wedding, Marcus sent a huge red envelope. Inside, a note, I finally found our shared document secret. Thank you for those 100 love notes. I discovered them too late. Best wishes, Claire. I tucked the note back in the envelope and looked at the man walking toward me. Lifting my dress, I ran to him. The end.